Sunday. Mustang Rebuilder here. Today is not a Mustang video, but I promise you next week there'll be some Mustang videos. Today it's about stump grinding once again, some advice on chainsaws, whether you need one, you don't need one, what size you need. I'm not going to go into what brand you need. I don't want to stop before you go type it on the keyboard because I mention a name. I'm only mentioning what I use. You can buy whatever you want, but I'll tell you the minimum requirements that you need, okay? So please, no assholes today, right? Stay home, shut it off, whatever. Everybody that's been responding to the video has been fantastic. I really love you guys. You make me want to do these. I've always told you guys I'm on my way out. I'm getting older, 58 years old. I've got pensions and stuff already, but I'm winding down. So I'm just passing this knowledge on to you guys for free. If you guys find something wrong that I say something constructive back to me. We'll go back and forth with it in a constructive manner. Everything on here is my opinion, and everybody's entitled to an opinion, just like everybody has an asshole, okay? Anyway, let's get real about this. Do you or do you not need a chainsaw when you're starting out in the stump grinding business? Number one is, it depends, okay? I do mostly subcontracting work for contractors, okay? Most of my contractors are tree companies. They already cut the stump at the proper height. They know what I want, they know what I need. They've been around a long time, okay? They take real good care of me. I take real good care of them. Now, like my brother, he does more residential. He runs across a lot of stumps that are real, let's say, left 4 feet, 6 feet tall, for a couple of reasons. You know, some people think they're gonna have their stump carved by a carver. Later on, find out they have the carver come out and says, well, I'll be $3,500 just to carve a bear or whatever. They go, what the hell? Well, then for the stump grinding guy, he has to go there and cut it. Now I'm gonna tell you what I do if I have to go to your house and cut your stump. I'm older now. When I first started, I would. I was hungry. Shit, I'd do anything, all right? But now that I'm older and been established for a long time, I'm kind of lazy and picky, all right? I show up, you got a 4-foot tall stump, I'll look at it, I'll call one of my contracting guys, a smaller one, or a guy that happens, I could keep a whole list, or a guy that works for a tree company, and on his way home, I'll pay him to cut and haul it, all right? Now, if I gotta pull out my chainsaw and cut that stump, okay, it's gonna cost you, I noticed some of you guys are gonna say this is way too cheap, but it's gonna cost you $25 a cut. And by I say cut, I'm not gonna make one cut. I'm cutting it about every 14 or 16 inches on that log. I'm cutting it down, all right? So each time I cut is 25 bucks. And then if it's a real heavy piece of wood, I'm gonna dice it. And every time I dice it, it's $25 for me to dice it, okay? So that's why it's cheaper for me to get another guy to come, cut it and haul it. Because most of the time, them guys will charge me 50 to 75 bucks to cut it and haul it. But if you're a newbie or you want every freaking dollar on the table, I don't blame you. I'm not throwing rocks at you. If you want every dollar on the table, that's kind of how I do it, all right? And in the beginning, you gotta do stuff a little cheaper to get yourself established and get your name out there. I'll make some videos on how to get yourself established and get your name out there faster than most people, but that's later on, okay? So, the chainsaws that I run are Husqvarna. And the only reason I know there's Steels, the fantastic saws, and there's numerous other brands that are great. There's big Echoes now that a lot of guys are running, and they have no problems with them. Only reason I run Husqvarnas is that's what I first learned on and first had, all right? My first big saw I ever bought was a 372 Husky, all right? It served my purpose. I could run a big bar on it for what I was doing in my area. That's another thing. The saw you need and the size you need pertains to where you live and the area you're at, all right? If you're up north, some of our guys in Michigan and other places, they're talking about big trees. So you need a bigger saw, bigger bar, and honestly, a bigger stump grinder, all right? Now, the average guy in an urban area like I am, You basically need a chainsaw, at least 50 cc's, and one that will run at least, let's say 20-inch bar, okay? And for the newbie guy out there, Husqvarna, you could go to Lowe's and some other place, and the internet, I love the internet, you know. A Husky Rancher will be all right, a 450 Rancher, I think it's called. All right, it runs a 20-inch bar. Now be careful, there's two Ranchers that are 450s. One you'll see that is running only an 18-inch bar, and then there's another one running the 20-inch bar. The 20-inch bar is a 50 cc, okay? Now my brother, he doesn't cut very much either anymore, but he does residentials, so he keeps a saw with him, all right? And the saw he runs is a Rancher, but it's a 460, and it runs a 24-inch bar, which if you're gonna spend a couple of extra bucks, get the 24-inch bar. Otherwise, a 50-inch bar for your normal area will work fine, especially if you're running a smaller stump grinder. That's what you're gonna encounter, okay? You know, a 40-inch stump or even a 50-inch stump, because the way a stump crests down, you can cut it a little taller with a 20-inch bar or notch into the log. I'm not getting into that shit, okay? You can learn that stuff. You've already been out there. If you're a professional stump grinder already, you already know the tricks of the trade, how to do that, all right? But there are some things also to wonder about. Why was that log left tall? Was it left tall because the lawn guy cut it and he only had a smaller chainsaw and left it tall and came up with some bullshit excuse? I've had a lot of bullshit excuses, even by some Jobo tree companies. There's something in there. There's something in that stump. It keeps messing up our bars and all, that's it. That's all we're doing. Charge me a little extra to do it, whatever. Well, here's another thing. Some trees, all right? Different species of trees that have gnarly wood on the outside, or if you're in an urban area that's been mowed around and whatever, will have dirt embedded in it. Okay? And you'll notice it like certain oaks, white oaks around here. If you have a white oak or a post oak, you'll be cutting with a chainsaw and you'll see freaking sparks coming out of it, all right? Other times in this urban area, and I knew the tree guy, he's dead now, but he was one of the masters from a long time ago. When there was a hole in the tree, they would climb it and pour buckets of concrete down the freaking hole. And it'd find its way down to the bottom sooner or later, and guess who gets it? Us stump grinders, okay? Or you're in an urban environment where it changed, some fence lines changed, property lines changed, and guess what? There's old fence posts, barbed wire inside of a stump, all kinds of reasons. So, if you got a chainsaw, all right, and you got a stump that's tall, what you can do is if you're cutting into it and find something bad in it, take your stump grinder, work your way around the stump till you got fresh meat and you can see what's in there. And if there's something that you already ground past, maybe a little piece of barbed wire or something like that, then whip out the chainsaw, cut it, it'll save you time. I myself carry 3 chains, okay? That way, in case one chain is wiped, I got another one, all right? And if that one kind of gets halfway wiped, I got old number 3 back up, okay? Now, I don't hand file chains. I'll put my hand up in the air and say I don't. Maybe once in a blue moon, I'll put a little edge on something. I don't have time. The tree guy does, okay? And they're really good at it. Me, I drop them off at a shop. I keep a whole I get probably 10 chains. I drop them off at a shop. The old guy around here or whatever, sharpens them for $5 on a professional machine, does a great job, gives them back to me, bam, I'm off again. Only thing I may file on a chain is, you know, the rakers, the depths, you know. I could tell, you know, I put a gauge on it and I hand file them, you know. Anyway, let me turn around and show you a saw. I picked up the saw the other day. This is another way for you to get a saw. You can buy them off of eBay, they're reconditioned. A lot of times reconditions, the customer turned it back. You know, bought it for a project, used it once, and returned it back, okay? And this saw came from a professional shop that was closing down, had this saw, it's about 1.5 years old. It's about an $800-900 saw. It had a problem, they didn't even want to look at it, they didn't give a shit. They says, hey, Adam, you want it for $200, you can have it. I said, what's the problem with it? Chain brakes are all messed up on it. We ain't got time to open it up and look at it. You know, for the price we charge an hour to work on trucks and chippers and all that stuff, it ain't worth my problem. $200, it's yours. I picked it up, pulled on it, started right up. Chain brake didn't work. It started up it's a bad boy. It's about an $800, $900 saw. All right, I'll turn this camera around here. Give me a second, I'll show you. Yep, there it is, Husqvarna 362 XP, the newer model with auto tune. Not a big fan of auto tune, but hey, this saw runs. I took it out to a job last week just to test it, even though the chain brake didn't work, okay? I took it to the shop to order a part. They said it's gonna be $24 to $30 for the part. It take about a week to get the part. And I said, oh, okay, whatever. And I said, let me see what I could do. And the guy looked at it, 2.6, oh yeah, it's probably a chain brake, roll your new chain. I said, yeah, I'll take it home. But instead, I took it to a job, whipped it out, tried it out on a piece of wood. The bad boy, it's got 24-inch bar on it already. The bar is hardly even worn. It's dirty from the stump that I cut. Otherwise, it was clean as hell. And yes, chain brake is messed up. It's already clicked. You know what happened? I touched it after I did that thing, clicked it, and what happened was, they had told me at that shop was, it got tripped. And the other shop didn't know how to re-trip this. So I re-tripped it. I thought I had it cured, and then I found out, you know what? This plastic here is kind of flimsy and shitty. It got hot. Someone put this cover on the wrong way and was binding it, had it close to the muffler, locked over the muffler all the time, running because it was locked, and got hot. So I went on, where did I go? Our Magical Place. I went on eBay, I searched the part. Here's the new part right here. Here's the metal part here that trips the brake. I'll take this case off, re-trip it, put this new chain, the braking, I don't even know what you want to call it. Oh, the bar stop, a bar clamp. Anyway, long story short, this part cost me $17. Went on eBay, it was at my door in 2 days instead of waiting a week. I saved money. Anyway, so once again, Stihl's a great brand. A lot of my tree companies, they either run two things, Huskies or Stihls, okay? And some guys run the Echoes now, the big Echoes, and they're very happy with them too, okay? Because, you know, listen, when you hire employees, they're very hard on tools. Apparently, you know, this one had a dickhead that worked for that company. But there's something else I learned too. When I went to the saw shop looking for that part, the guy was telling me, hey, we got something kind of new here. We're trying to push it around, and he gave it to me for a good price. He says, I know you use prepackaged fuel. That's another thing. I don't run my saws that much, right? But I keep them in my truck. So I buy that canned fuel, okay? In the container, if I don't open up this can, it's good for 5 years. If I open this can, it's still good for 2 years, all right? But this one, the reason why he gave me this one is, this one he says it's got something like sea foam in it mixed in. So if you got a saw that's been sitting for a little while, it's kind of running a little erratic, and you know, after you change the plug in, it's still got a little, hell, try this shit out. It's made, it's called Red Armor Fuel. Echo is the one that pushes it. It's got a cleaner in it also, all right? And it's 50 to 1 like the saws are supposed to, recommended to be. Normally I'll run 40 to 1. You can buy cans, I don't know if this, but the normal stuff at 40 to 1. I like it a little bit more lubrication to my fuel. But that's just me. Anyway, so just a video about if you need a saw or not starting off. Like I said, I recommend 20-inch. Don't buy a 16, a 14, please don't bother. Buy 20 or 24-inch saw, okay? 50 cc's or larger, okay? And it just depends also if you live in big country, I'm sorry, you have to get a bigger saw and probably a bigger stump grinder, okay? Anyway, that's all today. Something easy, something quick for you stump grinding guys. I love you guys, and remember, if you're not learning something new every day, you must be dead or you're an asshole, okay? But I know you're not an asshole, okay? I know there's some pricks out there, but that's a different story. Anyway, once again, thanks for all the likes, the comments, and do me a favor. Can you hit me up on a subscribe, please? It helps me out. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. And to see if you watched this video to the very end, make a comment if you know the answer to this question. The question is, do you know from Happy Days, do you remember what the name of the gal was that Arthur Fonzarelli was in love with? Okay? Remember, from the show Happy, you gotta be old like me to know this. From the show Happy Days, who was Arthur Fonzarelli, the Fonz, in love with? I'll wait. I wanna see who's the first guy to come up with it and put it on a comment. All right? Thanks. Have a blessed day. And I'm probably gonna be making some shirts soon that have that saying of mine on there, all right? Thanks again. Bye. God bless you.